Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and very good morning to everyone. Today I will be present my conceptual paper titled A Conceptual Framework for Logistic Coordinations Mechanism and Humanitarian Operations Performance Insight from the Humanitarian Organizations in Malaysia. This study focused on strengthening humanitarian operations, particularly in Malaysia, by examining how Malaysia logistic coordination mechanism can enhance the overall performance in Malaysia. I'm Dr. Zeti Suzila binti Majuso from the Faculty of Business and Accountancy, University Polytechnic Malaysia. Here is the structure of my presentation. It begins with an introduction to the study, followed by a literature review and brief explanations of the methodology, a discussions of the findings and recommendations, and finally I conclude with the implications and future directions. This one is the content of the part introduction. First of all is the background of the study, research question or research objective, research framework, problem statement, and scope of the study. Okay, that one is the background of the study. Flood are Malaysia's most frequent and devastating natural disaster, creating several social and economic challenges. Areas like Kelantan, Pahang, and Johor are particularly vulnerable due to the urban expansions and climate change. For humanitarian operation to succeed, logistic coordination is very critical to ensure that essential supplies like food, water, shelter, and medicines reach affected communities quickly. My study emphasized that effective coordinations between supply chain actors supported by shared information system and standardized procedure can significantly reduce response time and optimize resource use. The research focused on exploring how logistic coordination mechanisms influence the performance of humanitarian operations. The objectives are to identify coordination challenges, examine the effective strategies, and develop a conceptual framework that humanitarian organizations can adopt to strengthen their response effort. This is the proposed conceptual framework. At its core, logistic coordination is defined by the three dimensions, which is resource sharing, synchronizations of the processes, and operational standardizations. These elements collectively contribute to the improving humanitarian operations performance measured by delivery speed, flexibility, service quality, and efficiency. For the problem statement, despite the critical role of the logistic coordinations, Malaysia humanitarian sector face ongoing challenges, for example, the limited of information sharing, resource constraint, complex disaster environments, and coordination difficulties between agencies. These challenges often result in delay, inefficiencies, and uneven aid distributions, which this study aims to address. That one is the scope of the study. This research focuses on the Malaysia context, given its frequent flood disaster and unique disaster Malaysia structure. We examine humanitarian organizations formally recognized by Natural Disaster Management Agency to ensure that the data reliable and standardized operation procedure. Our target participants are frontliners and decision makers actively engaged in disaster response, which provide accurate and experience-based insight. That one is the content for the part 2 is the literature review. Okay, number 1 is the literature review under logistic coordination in humanitarian setting. Logistic coordination is essential for effective humanitarian response. Literature identifies three main pillars which are resource sharing, meaning that to ensure that resources are pooled and effectively allocated. And then for the second one is the process synchronizations. Process synchronizations to align workflows across agency to avoid duplications. And the last one is the operational or standardizations, meaning that to develop shared protocol for faster decision makers. These dimensions are critical for improving responsiveness in disaster relief effort. Number 2 is the humanitarian operation performance. The performance of humanitarian operation is often measured by their ability to save lives, reduce suffering, and remain accountable for donors. Strong operational performance allow organizations to deliver timely assistance and improve their efficiency. Literature emphasizes that the performance monitoring and feedback loops as a key tool for continuous improvements. That one is the methodology. This study employs a conceptual research design, synthesis finding from the literature and practical experience to propose a framework for logistic coordinations. While no primary data is collected at this stage, this framework is designed to guide future empirical studies, including survey based on the modeling approach. That one for the discussion, we have the challenges for this part, recommendations and outcome. For the challenges, aid delivery is slow by fragmented communications network and decentralized command structure. Lack of unified leadership, reduced efficiency during the crisis response. That one is the challenges of this topic. And then for the recommendations, we have three recommendations. First of all is the National Coordination Center. This center is a function to centralize hub models on the UN cluster approach is proposed. It will streamline decision making to promote unified actions and minimize the logistical redundancies. And then for the second one is the digital platform. Digital platform is the integrated logistics systems with IoT tracking and real-time inventory dashboard are essential. These tools can increase the visibility, transparency, and also coordinations between the agency. And the last recommendations is joint training. Interagency simulations, drills, and workshops foster trust and share operational standards, build stronger teamwork, and resource sharing capabilities during the emergency. And the outcome is first, we can faster delivery of aid, greater flexibility of operations. You can improve the service quality for beneficiaries and the higher overall efficiency in humanitarian operations. And the last part is the conclusions. In conclusions, logistic coordination is a critical factor in improving humanitarian operations in Malaysia. Key recommendations include the creation of a national coordination center, the adoption of integrated digital platform and continuous capability building initiative. Future studies should use longitudinal research and action levels comparisons to develop reliable framework. This initiative will help build more resilient and efficient humanitarian logistics system. And the last part, what is the impact for this conceptual framework is strengthen coordination, we can improve response speed and better humanitarian outcome. Alright, thank you for your attention. I look forward to your question and feedback.